Well, season four has come to its end, and surprise, surprise, we are here doing a recap of what we really talked about in this season. If I had to sum it up, I'm going to say this is the season to get committed to making the change. Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome to Ladies Listen Up. I am your host, Gwendolyn, G.R. Houston Jack. As I was saying, this is season 4. And it's interesting when you look at growth, how you want to see some movement. But what I have found as a career coach, a coach in general, an educator, is that despite the fact of having access to tools to create change, and despite the fact of knowing what you could do and what your heart wants to do and what maybe really should be done, and I know should is that key word, a lot of us don't make that change. I don't know exactly why. Everybody has their something that keeps them from leaving what they know, which is comfort, and getting into something that could be the best thing ever, the unknown. It's comfort. That could be it. But this season, we decided to start having some in-the-face, come to Jesus conversations. And it started out with using one of my favorite phases. Okay, it's not a phase, it's a phrase. Using one of my favorite phrases. Say that 8 times fast. Favorite phrases from Master Yoda. It is try not. Do or do not. There is no try. Because it's about word choice. Master Yoda told Luke, do or do not, there is no try. I told my team that too. When they would say, well, I'm trying to sell it. I'm trying to get to work on time. I'm trying to. Are you really? Now, somebody told me, Gwendolyn, that doesn't make sense. Because there is always a moment when you are trying. But what exactly is that? What does trying look like? Now, let me just give you my interpretation, because I'm with Master Yoda. You either gonna do this or you not gonna do it. There is no in between. Think about baking a cake. Do you kind of bake a cake or do you bake the cake? Do you stop, get all the ingredients for your cake, mix it all up together? If I could say anything, I will say this really quick, and I've said it, I'm gonna say it again. Whoever really put a lot of thought into the character of Master Yoda, man, the wisdom there is crazy. Crazy. We may have to use a few more of Master Yoda isms in the next season. But beyond deciding, beyond putting your foot down that you are going to now do what you believe needs to be done so that you can have the best life ever, we had to revisit a place about what that looks like. Because a number of us gave up our dreams and aspirations for someone else because somebody told us that's what we should do. And now you're at a point in life where you have to go back and say, what are my dreams? What are my wants? What are my aspirations? Episode 2 reminded us what it was like to dream and be a kid again. Not that dreaming is just for kids. Let's look at it. comes from dreaming. Something happened between being a kid to getting to an adult that we lose. We lose all the tools to dream, to be creative. We lose it. We start telling ourselves, you know where I'm going with this. We start believing the lies that we were told, that we're not creative, that you can't do this, that you weren't designed for that that's not in your DNA, that this is beyond you. We start believing that BS, and we stop dreaming. And we consciously decide to let go of our dreams. We let go of our natural creative wants. We let it go. And we commit to working and building the dreams of someone else. Yeah, dreams and aspirations. I keep a list. I really do. I keep a list, and it keeps getting longer because as I do some of these things, I got to replace it. I want to put something else on that list. But let's dive into this personal vessel. Because as women of a particular age, there is still this ridiculous notion that we have to look a certain way, dress a certain way, and we want, no, not us. Somebody out there wants us to be one size fits all, and we're not doing it. We're not. So we started with a conversation about beauty. And what I really want to pinpoint is this. If you are that woman who is beating down and shaming another woman for how she decides to show up, you got to stop it, because that's part of the problem. This is about doing beauty your way. If you choose to have a full face beat, contoured nose, lashes, and you want to protect your hair so you're wearing a wig, that is you. Love it. What we have to do as women is stop allowing these man-made forces dictate how we define what's beautiful. And we have to also stop attacking another woman for how she defines what is beautiful. Peep it. I have friends that will not leave the house without at least the lashes and the mascara. Gotta have that. And some eyebrows, right? You gotta have some eyebrows. I think that's great. I think it's wonderful. Because that's what they... Now, beyond how we show up physically here, there's this whole other thing. And I have talked about on other shows the impact of seeing these visual images, telling mothers that as they are giving birth, they should immediately run into another room and have cosmetic surgery done on their abs or whatever else. It's just so beyond ridiculous. It's not healthy. It's beyond ridiculous. And we have to notice at a certain point that these visual images, they're not real. It's not sustainable. It's not real. Let's start wrapping our arms around the body we have and loving us for every inch, curve, dip, like everything. Let's get that. So we talked about body types. But that's life. Let me go back to this again. When you're seeing all these messages about what's in vogue and what you should look like, and this is what we see as being attractive, I am telling you right here, right now, take all of that, put it in the garbage can and burn it. Put it on flame. Just burn it. Because it'll get in your head. Here I was, this person who is tall and lanky and about as flat as all get out. And I was working overtime to get a body, a mesomorph, right? A little athletic, a little fit, a little bump in the... And it wasn't happening, Captain. It was not happening because it wasn't supposed to be. There's not... Isn't that refreshing? Perhaps we'll find somebody who can give us some official fitness health something. Who knows? Because I can say this. These health influencers, I wouldn't put my life in their hands, but that's a different conversation for a different day. Maybe next season, right? But I do want to talk about that savior complex because we wanted to move from making the decision to commit to the change, discussing who you are as a person, your dreams, your aspirations, looking at how you show up physically, but then also recognizing that you're gonna have to let go of some of the things that have been your cape, have been your shield, have been your mask. We've been playing savior, saving all the people and not saving ourselves. But that was the role. The role was to take care of all the things. Even so much so that when my father became ill with lung cancer, taking him to his doctor appointments, carrying a phone into the appointment to record the doctor so I can transcribe and let the family know, here's what's going on. There was always this place of, Gwendolyn will save the day. And not that people ever said it, it just kind of happened. And because it just kind of happened, I shouldn't say kind of, we got to stop saying kind of, let's own this. I stayed there. I stayed in this place of let me save all the people and do all the things and put myself aside. I think about my health at work when I clearly had this cyst that I could see. I could touch it. That's how bad it was. I could touch the cyst. And I was like, oh, I'll go in for a doctor. Man, letting it burn, doesn't it feel good? Let all this stuff burn, like burn it down. Okay, maybe I need to stop burning things. But I find that when you burn it, it's over. You ain't got to worry about it anymore. Can we talk about the money? Because we had mentioned these influencers in all the areas, body, face, beauty, job, career. Then there's money. And again, some of these influencers, you put your whole life in their advice, you can find yourself behind bars or with a really big bill because you believe in these glitches. We're going to talk about budgeting and getting your finances right. That some things sound so good they cannot be true. And let's just travel back in time recently to where a number of persons really believed that Chase Bank had a glitch at their ATM. That if you wrote this fraud check and deposited it at the ATM, there was this glitch and you would get all this money. Now, I don't know how old you are, but you don't have to be that old to know that the bank is never just giving away money. Never. You know how they say if it's too good to be true, it probably isn't true. Maybe that framing, that quote, that really good advice has not trickled down, right? Like we all haven't heard it. Hear it now. Don't care how old you are. Now, in every season, I come to a place of we got to put our foot on base. And I will tell you as a person who has done this teaching thing, we can talk to the cows come home. The cows are now home. The pigs are in. The chickens are in the coop, right? But at some point, you have to recognize, and I know have to is, again, putting a belief on you. But at some point, the decision to do something different, to have something better, it has always been yours. And so nothing changes if nothing changes. Therefore, the choice is yours. Let's check that out. When I'm not your manager. Because I would ask her, what do you want to do with your career? Or what do you think I should do? Where do you see me? I kid you not. I let my team know I don't care what you do. Because your career is not mine. I don't care. My job is to help you reach whatever height you want to reach. That's my job. That's where my care and concern comes in, providing opportunities for you to do what you want to do. That's my care and concern. What you do, I don't, hey, really, because that's your life. You are grown. Has nothing to do with me. As I would tell them, my career is my own. Gwendolyn is focused on getting her career places. That's my care and concern. Getting my paycheck, getting my stuff done, my dreams, my aspirations. That's my concern. We're coming to the end. Here we are. We are going to step into a new life. And actually, it's not a new life. I would say it's a new chapter of the book that you've been writing for all this time. Because at any point, you can decide this is not how the story is going to end. You make that decision. And so in our last episode, we discussed having a new attitude. And we talked about a tool that can help you get there. We all go through these things. We all go through it. But we have to be honest with ourselves. And there may be a place where we have to do a Viking funeral where we take all of these bad habits and these awful thoughts and all these lies and put it in a little boat at a lake, light it up and let it burn. Get done with it. Now, what's also cool about Lisa's book is that there is a place for notes. So you can write your notes down and then you go into the next week. It's 8 weeks. Can it take more than 8 weeks? Oh yeah, for sure. Because I found myself stopping here and there to really sit in it. Now, some of the topics she discusses, there is the pause. There is one about wellness. There is one about finances. There was one about relationships. Amazing, amazing. Another amazing season. We're planning for the next. We know we are going to talk about word choice. And we're going to look at confidence and confidence builders. And really continue to strengthen this message of unlearning what you have learned. And I don't know, we may very well give a whole season to Master Yoda and his lessons, like really. I'm gonna marinate on that one. But as you take this time to soak all this in, perhaps go back and replay a few episodes that you missed, I want to tell you, give yourself the space and grace to grow and learn. I'll see you next season.